Hey cats, what's happening? You know, one of the things I like most about living out here in the country is that it's quiet, peaceful and quiet. Well, it's quiet most of the time. You know, we live about 650 feet off the road. We still hear traffic going up and down the road from here, though. More so in the winter when there's no foliage, but yeah, you can still hear stuff going by. And a lot of times I'll hear the Harleys going by. I like to try to guess what it is, by just listening to the sound of the engine. Is it a Sportster? Is it a shovel head? Or is it a cruiser? And I can always tell if it's a Harley or a different make and model of bike. Harleys, though, they got their own unique sound. And some people love it, some people hate it. I got a brother that's a doctor, and he lives in a residential part of town, and he literally despises the sound of Harleys. He can't stand the sound of a Harley. He says they rumble by his house all the time, and it just is a big annoyance to him. And I'm sure it's that way to a lot of people. I mean, I've got these Vance and Hines pipes on here, shotguns. They do have baffles in them, but they're still pretty loud. And I mean, when I'm cranking out 65, 70 mile an hour on the highway, there's a pretty good roar behind me. And when I traveled across country, I'd push it up to 80 miles an hour. And when you're doing 80 on this 90 cubic inch motor, it really belts out a nice roar. I'd go around people and it would literally, I mean, I'd be in the passing lane, but the sound of my pipes would literally scare the crap out of people when I went past them on my bike. Did I feel guilty about that? Oh, I don't know. I don't mean to scare people, but I like the sound of my bike. It's music to my ears. It takes me way back to the old days. I used to have an old John Deere 2-cylinder. It was a smaller farm tractor. You know, the seat sat back like a springy seat, and the steering wheel was off to the side of the engine. And I kind of repurposed it and got it running again, and then it was sold. I also had a Farmall H. You know, it was a bigger farm tractor that I completely rebuilt the motor and everything, repainted everything, and made it like brand new again. And those old engines really have a sound of their own. I used to always like to go to the tractor show at the fairgrounds. They had an old farm tractor show there. And I mean, if you ever heard like these old tractors running, like an old Ford Flathead, they just got that rhythm and that pop to them that just, to me, I don't know why, but I really love that sound. And it kind of emulates the sound of a Harley, that chug chug, that pop 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 pop. And I always thought it was a pretty cool sound. Now the other sound that I hear when I hear Harleys going by are these guys that have the stereo systems on their cruisers. They have a bigger bike, and the big like Ultras, they've got speakers up in the dash, they've got speakers back by the passenger seat. And, when you're going 55, 60, 65 mile an hour, I don't know how they can even hear a decent sound, but they've got it cranked up. And I mean, the bikes will be going down the road there, and I can almost tell what song they're playing, but it's very distorted coming, as they're hearing it as it's coming across their speakers, but I'm hearing it like a wow 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 wow. It kind of like the music gets distorted, so it's really hard to even hear what music they're listening to. I think that would be just annoying to people, you know. I mean, obviously don't have any kind of stereo system on this bike, and never will. And even if I did have a bike that had those capabilities, I'm not that kind of guy that would be going down the road with it cranked up full blast. I think when I see Harleys doing that, I find it annoying. You know, I mean, you like that music, you like to listen to it, but to us, it's just like dead noise. And I mean, your Harley makes enough noise, but that radio blasting is a little different. You know, okay, well now they've got, you know, headsets where you could listen to music over headphones or something like that when you're riding. Might be a better option than sharing your music with the whole community as you go down the road. The other thing that breaks the silence out here is the gunfire. You'll hear gunshots. It's actually quiet today. I don't hear any gunshots today, but it's very, very common. Almost every day somebody will be shooting. Now, it may happen later today, I don't know. But you get these guys that I always question why, but they'll shoot for hours. And I mean, even if they're reloading, that's got to be a extremely expensive hobby. Just to shoot off hundreds and hundreds of rounds of ammunition all day long. And I mean, it must be something that they really, really enjoy doing, hitting the target with a bullet. I'm asked a lot of times, you know, hey Itchy, why don't you make videos about your guns and some of your target shooting? I don't know. I kind of learned that's one thing you don't want to put out there. You know, you don't want to really advertise your arsenal. You don't want people to know what you have. So I try to keep that on the down low. I do have a couple videos. Now, one thing that I learned, you know, I've never been in the military, and so I'm not military trained with weapons. Everything that I know about weapons, I've been kind of self-taught by just watching videos on YouTube. And so I'm no expert. And when I make a video with my weapons, somebody is always calling me out for something I'm not doing right, or I'm not using the right terminology. I mean, I called a magazine a clip. And boy, did I get some backfire for that. You know, that I'm a moron. I didn't know what I was talking about. Well, you knew what I was talking about when I said clip, didn't you? Because you corrected me and told me that it's supposed to be called a magazine, a mag. Anyway, yeah. So no, I'm not going to make videos about shooting, but that's one of the things that breaks the silence around here. Some people don't mind. It doesn't bother me at all, but my wife doesn't like the gunshots, and I know the neighbor ladies, at least two of them, that hate the gunfire. You know, the one across the street has an infant, and she gets the infant down for a nap, and the guy next door, pow, 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 starts shooting at targets and wakes the baby up, and it could be very aggravating. Well, thanks for watching today. I appreciate your attendance in watching my videos. Thanks for your subscriptions, for subscribing to my channel. If you haven't, give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. I'd like to have you along for my ride. Well, I've got some work to do today. I don't know that I'm going to get out on the bike. I have to take advantage of any dry weather that I have to catch up with yard work and stuff like that, and I've got plenty of that to do. So I'm going to get busy on that here again and see if I can knock out some more of these spring chores. Thanks for watching. Until next time, cats, ride hard and die free.